Yeah, we've got another. Is that everyone then?
That's it. Yeah,
great. Right, let's get started then. Welcome to the WhaleCoin Talk Twitter Spaces. I'm Glenn, your host. Today we have joining us DAOWhale. Here to talk about the project is Jeff, DAOWhale, and Conda. They're building a huge Shark Tank show, so we can go into the details on that and the token and everything else about the project shortly. But first, can you give your background and experience, guys? That'd be great.
Yeah, of course. Just a quick one before we get started. Shrimp, are you here? Can you hear us?
I think his connection cut out, but then he's back as a speaker. I can see in the list.
Can you hear us, Shrimp?
Hey boys, yes, I'm in. Finally.
No? I'll start off. Oh, you are there. Perfect. Yeah, I'll start off with the brief introduction. Thanks for the hosting, and of course everyone for being here. Absolute pleasure, and we're all very excited to tell you what we've got in store with DAOWhale. So yeah, I go by the alias of Cyrus. You can call me Jeff or Cyrus, either or. It's completely fine. Been called much worse, but that's a story for another AMA. A little bit about me. So I've been involved in crypto for the best part of sort of 3-4 years now, more so 4 years. Was originally in the trading side of things, but fell upon this side of crypto, the meme coins, the low caps, the shit coins, and instantly fell in love with the excitement from it and never really looked back since. So yeah, a little bit about me. I'll lead on to either Z or Shrimp to take over.
Sure. So I go by the alias Shrimp Toshi. I'm based out of the UK, as you can tell by my thick accent. So I've been in crypto since around 2018, 2019. Started off lightly investing. Didn't take it too seriously until about just over a year ago when Safe Moon was trending, as well as all the other charity tokens. Funny story, actually, I met some guy on Telegram who made a charity token. I invested 90% of my net worth, and I pretty much lost the whole thing within 2 hours. But looking back now, it was probably the most fortunate investment I had ever made, although it was a loss, because if it wasn't for that exact moment, then I probably wouldn't be here right now speaking to you guys and running my own project. So yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
Okay, great. I don't know whether Zed Conda wanted to say anything, or we can move into the DAOWhale project. Maybe we can start with the Shark.
Yeah, so just real quick, Z Conda with Conda Labs, me and my team are, we came on board to help them fill their pre-sale, fill their private sale and their pre-sale. But after, taking a deep dive into their project, talking with them about their future goals and plans, and their ability to make these plans a reality, we got really bullish with the project, and we decided to move forward with them post-launch, and also help them with marketing and help them with growing their utilities and their project and their community post-launch, because we were so bullish on the project. So yeah, I think WhaleCoin Talk knows me pretty well. I've brought a lot of projects into you guys for AMAs and stuff. And yeah, Conda Labs is very key on safety when it comes to promoting projects for our investors, and DAOWhale is a very legit, safe, and I think it's going to be an awesome project. Apart from the KYC and audit with Presale, they've also personally docked with me, so I just wanted to get that out of the way before we get going.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so if we can start with the Shark Tank show, how it's going to work for investors, for projects, the format that's going to be used for the Shark Tank. Can we go into some details? That'd be great.
Sure, sounds good. So I'll quickly run you guys through of the overview of the actual project and how we actually came to the situation of creating DAOWhale. So the true reasoning behind why we actually conceptualized this project is simply due to the fact that we are all investors. We've all invested into projects where we've lost money within the past, simply due to the fact that when it comes to investing into projects, you're not just investing into a token, but you're actually investing into the team behind the token. So it's really about the execution, right? And if the execution isn't top notch, then there isn't really much of a potential for that specific project. So when it comes down to the execution itself, especially in these founders that we're investing into, I've lost money simply from founders not being able to market projects correctly, bad timing, lack of funding, or even just lack of experience within the actual space. So that's where DAOWhale comes in. We're essentially providing a multifaceted platform where we're giving the opportunity for founders to come on to pitch in hopes of receiving investment, incubation, marketing, or any help that they need in order to turn their ideas into fruition. So yeah, the actual infrastructure of the project is in the form of a DAO. So we've took inspiration from Shark Tank or Dragon's Den if you're from the UK, and we've took that concept and integrated it within the crypto sphere in the form of a DAO. So instead of private institution or private investors running the whole venture capital space, what we're doing instead is we're providing a venture capital project or ecosystem where it's open to anyone. As long as you have money to invest, then you can interact within our DApp. So it doesn't matter whether you invest $10 or $1,000, you have the same equal voting power as someone else who's invested $10,000. So it's really about providing a fair, democratic ecosystem where, as a community member, you can really shape the outcome of the crypto sphere through the DAO treasury. DAO treasury itself is funded through a 3% buy and sell tax.
Okay, great. And so how does the format work? How many people will be on the panel? Are you using whales to be on the panel? Are you using influencers? How's it going to work? How long will they get to pitch each project to the community and the Whalecoin DAOWhale, let's say, Shark Tank?
Yeah, sure. So the actual whale tank itself, it's a private community of whales of the DAOWhale community. In order for people to qualify access, they must stake 2 million WOW tokens, which will be done through our DApp. So as soon as they've got 2 million tokens and they staked it, they'll get sent a one-time entry link to the Telegram group itself. Now, the whale tank itself is more than just a platform for projects to pitch. It's a community of other whales of the community where you don't necessarily have to be in there just to hear the pitches or see what projects are coming on. It's more than just a pitching platform. You can be in there. You can have the exposure to exchange certain resources. So let's say you're a project founder, you're in the community, you didn't really know that many people marketing, but since you're in the community and we've got other influential marketers within that community, you have the direct exposure to the people in that community. It's not just marketers, it's pretty much any form of valuable service providers. So we're partnering up with third-party entities as well, audit companies, development companies, front-end and back-end, marketing agencies, and just a bunch of other influencers in there as well. So you could be in there and you could exchange certain resources, more so just expanding your network and being a lot more direct when it comes to extracting what kind of value you're looking for in one place.
Okay, great. And will you have like scouts going out looking for great projects to come and pitch to your community? Is it going to start on VC on Telegram? The pitches weekly, monthly, and are you looking to expand in the future to maybe doing a YouTube show? You know, where people will docs and come on the show live.
Yeah. So the actual dynamic of how people even get onto the Whale Tank is pretty simple. To create a proposal, you need to own 50,000 WOW tokens. And then once you've bought the tokens, you come onto our DApp. connect your wallet, you create a new proposal, you fill in all the necessary information about your project. So what the utility is, who's behind it, do they have a positive track record, and how they aim to be a novelty project. So at the end of every week, we're going to choose 3 of the highest voted proposals from the DApp, from the trending list. And then those 3 proposals or those projects will be entered into the whale tank, where they'll be pitching to the panelists, to the whales of the community. Sorry. So yeah, when it comes to the panelists, we're featuring AMA hosts from other prominent AMA groups to come on to be featured to represent their groups. And since they've been doing this for a while, they know what kind of questions to ask for prior to the investment that will be made from the DAO treasury. So yeah, let's say, well, Coin Talk, you guys had a token, you were new to the space, you didn't really know anyone, you didn't have access to funding. You simply just buy our native token, create the proposal, come onto our whale tank, and then you pitch. Now, if our panelists and our whales like your project, then we'll invest into you. But the way how the actual investments work is that we are not going to directly send you the money, because you could essentially just take the money, delete your Telegram accounts, and vanish from Telegram. So what we're going to do instead, I'll give you an example, right? So let's say you wanted marketers, you needed money for marketing. Once you've pitched your project and we've confirmed in a deal, we'd connect you to our in-house marketers, so Conda Labs. They'll help strategize a marketing strategy for you. Once the campaign or the strategy has been formulated, we're going to connect you with our influencers. So we've partnered up with around 30 plus Twitter and Telegram KOLs. So the way how the actual payments work is, instead of you sending them the money, we send them the money direct. So then these influencers never actually have to deal directly with these unknown founders. Obviously, there's already a level of trust between DAOWhale and these influencers. So pretty much every deal will be swift. And yeah, we've got all the exposure that the project really needs. So yeah, it's pretty much simple as that.
So you should, Toshi. And who will have the smart contracts wallets? Will it be shared between your team and the project that's successful? And yeah, I was wondering how it works that way, or would they have the wallets, but you'll be doing the marketing? Are you going to offer like smart contracts, audits, and even creating a contract? You're going to offer the whole package as well as the funding?
So it really does depend. Obviously, we're going to tailor our services to their needs. Some projects are in early phases, some projects have already launched. So it's pretty much ensuring that we're doing our due diligence behind who's behind the team. Are their contracts audited? Have they KYC'd? Are they willing to privately dox to us? Those are certain measures that we're going to ensure before we do work with these guys.
I see. Yeah, so they're going to pitch the ideas, and you've got a DAO treasury as well that's going to be helping to fund the projects.
Yep.
Okay, great. And you've got the staking as well. Is it locked, unlocked staking? What's the minimum, maximum for investors to stake on the token, the wild token?
So there isn't any. We're not restricting anyone to lock on their stakings. However, we do have 2 different tiers, and those 2 different tiers are differentiated upon how much that person stakes. There's the silver tier and the gold tier. The gold tier being 2 million tokens. Once they've staked 2 million tokens, not only will they have access to the whale tank, but they will also be whitelisted for all the projects that DAOWhale incubates.
I see. And how does the tokenomics break down for the token, and what's the buy and sell tax for investors?
So the buy and sell tax is a 7% buy and sell, 3% DAO, 3% marketing, and 1% team. And then tokenomics breakdown. Let me just pull that up real quick. So yeah, the tokenomics breakdown. We've got our total supply is 888 million tokens. We've got around 9.4% going towards private sale, 30% pre-sale, 18% liquidity, 15% reserves, 3% team, and then around 25% which will be burnt.
Okay, great. And going back to the Shark Tank show, I'm wondering how often you're going to have the pitches. Is it going to be weekly, monthly? How will it work?
It will be 3 times a week.
Okay, great. You've also got in the future, I think you're planning an NFC Index Fund collection of NFTs. Can you go into details how that is going to be, how many is going to be minted, what's going to cost, and what's the utility attached to the NFC Index Fund?
Yeah. So the Boardwell NFTs is more than just a cool, fancy profile picture NFT collection. There is actually real utility behind it, and the utility is inspired from the S&P 500. So we're essentially creating an index fund in the form of an NFT. So since we're investing into projects or incubating projects, let's say within a month we've incubated 10 projects, that those 10 projects, the overall value of those projects would dictate the value of the NFT. So let's say we invest in 10 projects, 3 of those projects fail, but 7 succeed. Those 3 failed projects would offset against the 7 successful projects, and then that overall value would be a direct correlation to the NFT itself. But yeah, the real benefits behind the NFTs is that we're providing a diversified investment. So you buy this NFT, now you have now you essentially own 10 different projects, so indirect ownership. Every NFT also provides you with extra voting power. So one NFT is one extra vote, and if you decide to stake your NFTs, then you can also reap the rewards of the DAO investment profits, which will come back in our native token, so the WHALE token.
I think, and going back to the Shark Tank, you need to hold 50,000 WHALE tokens to propose and vote. So I'm wondering, how many votes do you get? If you have 1 million, would you get more votes, or is it anything over 50,000? You just get 1 vote each in the community, and you can just propose one project, or you could propose multiple projects.
So it's really 1 vote per wallet. And the reason why we've done that is because we want to provide a fair democratic ecosystem for our retail investors. So people from the third world countries, we want to provide an ecosystem where they have an equal vote in comparison to someone who's just invested $15,000. So it's really not about the amount of tokens that they bought. It's really for providing an equal, fair voting system. We've also implemented a 5% wallet transfer fee to essentially mitigate whales manipulating the voting system.
I see. And with the 50,000 WHALE tokens, if the token is 10 times more expensive, a few weeks after your launch, would you lower the amount of tokens you'd need to propose or vote in the future?
Yeah, we're always going to have it at a fair price where pretty much anyone can come on and vote. The reason why we do have a minimum is just provide our token utility. Otherwise, there wouldn't really be much of a reason to buy our token apart from profiting.
I see, from Toshi. And what stage are we at for investors? Is it still at the private stage, or are we at the pre-sale? How can investors get involved?
Private sales completed. We filled that last week. We're entering our pre-sale round tomorrow. We're raising 100 ETH with a minimum contribution of 0.1 and a max of 1 ETH.
I see. And which platform are you having a pre-sale on?
Pinksale. Pinksale are our partners, by the way. We partnered up with Pinksale.
Awesome. And so what about the smart contract? Have you had an audit on a smart contract before launch, or are you having one after launch?
Oh, we've literally just got our solid proof audit certificate come through like 4 hours ago. So yeah, we're all good to go. The Pinksale link is up and ready. KYC, we've got an audit badge. we're pretty good to go.
Okay, great. And what's the marketing plans for the first quarter? How are you going to get Shark Tank out there to investors and projects and expand into the future? What's the plans?
Yeah, sure. So when it comes to our go-to-market strategy, there really is 3 phases: the initial, the development, and the expansion phase. We're currently in the initial phase. We've already got a community of around 4,000, just under 4,000 members. We've partnered up with around 30 KOLs who have basically been promoting DAOWhale for pretty cheap or free even in some of those. And the deal with that is essentially they promote DAOWhale for free, and in return we provide them with projects that are getting incubated by the whale tank. So it's a win-win situation. DAOWhale gets free promotions, and then the influencers, they get more clients or more customers further down the line. And then so we've already done a few AMAs. We've done probably about 7 AMAs this week so far. We're getting a lot of calls promoted. We're not just on Telegram. We are tapping into Twitter. We've already partnered up with a few Twitter influencers who will be supporting the project through the lifespan of the token. And one thing that we're also doing to ensure that we actually get users onto our platform is by doing an airdrop giveaway. So the way how it would work essentially is, for example, we're giving away $5,000, 5 to 5 people, so $1,000 each. And the requirements for them to earn that $1,000 is very straightforward. They would need to buy a token and then create a proposal. At the end of the giveaway, we're going to select 5 of the best proposals. And those 5 people that create those proposals, we're going to give them the $1,000 to either they can either keep it or they can use it towards their proposal. The agenda behind that really is to get interaction within our DApp and actually get people utilizing our technology. Otherwise, it's pretty pointless if no one's using the DApp. So yeah.
Okay, great. Let's open it up to questions. We've got some hands up here. Ramat, I think you had a question for the DAOWhale team. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry, mate.
thank you.
Sorry, my partner Jeff is unable to speak. Do you mind muting?
I can't see him in the list or requesting to speak. If he, I think as he left the chat, he'll have to rejoin. If he comes up, I can unmute him again and put him up as a speaker. But let's go to a question from Ramat.
Yeah, thank you, Glenn. Okay, so I was wondering, as funds from the DAO treasury will not be directly invested in any project, and you will be offering various services to them. So I was wondering, how will you be getting profit from this project if you are not investing in them?
So we are investing into these projects, but the way how the payment dynamic actually works is, let's say Whalecoin Talk, you guys had a token and you requested for a 50 BNB investment. Once we provide the 50B investment, we're not expecting you to give us 50 BNB worth of tokens back, because if we were to go down that route, then we would essentially have to dump those tokens in order to reap the rewards or the profits for our community. So what we're going to do instead is, with pretty much every project, we're going to be providing loans instead. So we loan you 50 BNB. Once you do your pre-sale on Pink Sale, you pay back the 50 BNB loan plus interest, or we could even take a percentage of the volume tax as well. So the volume tax will be a temporary thing. And then with all the profits that we generate from our investments, 60% of the profits would go back towards the community, towards our stakers. So the 60% towards our community, and then the 40% goes back to the DAO treasury, so we can continuously grow the treasury to make larger investments over time, with hopes of being a profitable investment ecosystem.
Got it. It's very wonderful concept. Got it. Okay, final question. So it's mentioned on your white paper, and you also discussed about it, that the whales will be able to become the panelist in the whale tank. So I was thinking, how many panelists will be there? All whales will be panelists, or few selected whales will be able to become panelists?
So within the whale tank itself, anyone can voice their opinion on the pitching projects, but we will have 4 to 5 dedicated panelists to maintain and ask questions. But anyone can raise their hand and give their opinions.
Understood. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for answering. Over to you, Glenn.
No problem.
Okay, thank you for the question, Ramat. Let's move to Captain Levi. You had a question for the DAOWhale team. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Glenn. Okay, so I wanted asking, the project is completely DAO oriented. This means basically the community gets to vote for projects. A few months ago, I actually was asking the voting mechanism of this project. Now, someone could actually alter this vote in favor, or maybe a particular region could alter this vote in their favor by maybe voting for a particular coin or something that benefits them or their time zone, and that will be authentic. That will, I say, make the voting system itself quite invalid. So, what control
Sorry to
mechanisms
interrupt.
are
I couldn't hear your question. There was a weird noise going in the background.
okay? Is it okay now?
Yeah, it's better now.
Okay, so what I was asking was the fact that how would you orient your voting mechanism to ensure that as much as possible, projects that are being voted for are voted for free, fairly, because yes, everybody that owns a wallet is already free to vote, so it's not going to be a free and fair voting system, and the control mechanism, will I say, for example, if I hosted a project now, all my friends from the region gets to vote for that project, whether it's actually good or not. What countermeasures are in place to ensure that, okay, this project, even if it actually does have a lot of votes, still needs to go through a process to understand, to get, the required to meet the criteria that, the DAO project requires of it? Would there
Yeah,
be like a moderation team that will finalize the entire process?
yeah. So there's a I've got a few answers for that question. So the first one, to prevent whale manipulation, um, we can essentially track where the tokens have originally came from. So we're using a website called Bubble Maps. If you go on Bubble Maps and you put in our contract address, you can see where the tokens have been distributed from. Therefore, if a whale was to buy $10,000 worth of tokens and he decided to split all that $10,000 into hundreds of wallets, we could essentially see that on this platform. Um, we can see where all the tokens are come from, and if that person does decide to manipulate the voting system, then we can just pretty much cancel that proposal, or disallow those votes. And then for the second question, when it comes to security measures prior to investing into projects, we are going to ensure that they have KYC'd, they have got a contract audit, and that they are willing to docs to us. But most importantly, we're not really looking to work with any projects that have no personal stake in the project. And what I mean by that is their own personal investment. Without them investing their own personal funds, they can't really just be coming to us to expect a handout. So yeah, they need to have some risk on the line, since we are putting a lot of risk on the line as well in order to reap the rewards. Um, Another thing is ensuring that they've got a good mentality, they've got experience, they've got a good track record, and that their vision aligns with the DAOWhale's vision. We're not willing to work with any project that's striving for the short term. If they're in it just to make a quick buck, we're not looking to partner up and work with them. So it's really long term focused projects.
All right, all right. So that sounds cool. And I think earlier you actually talked about the fact that, the community could actually pitch projects that, could be, allowed into the system. My next question was actually about how much of the project, for example, if I own a project, how much am I expected to commit to that project to assure you guys that yes, I am just putting my money in, and I want others to put in their money in, and this is actually a real deal and it's a true thing.
Sorry, I didn't quite get your question. Can you repeat that, the last bit again, please?
Okay, so
Yep.
okay, so you just made mention of the fact that projects, the project owners themselves have to put their money in. That is, for example, if I was launching a project, I have to put my money in, and to assure you guys and the community as a whole that yes, I'm actually taking some form of risks, investing my money into this project, and if it takes a downtrend, I'll also be. When I say when the project doesn't come to meet its expectation, is there going to be some form of payback or repayments to other people who have invested? Will my funds that I invested be used as collateral to settle, at least the scores that the community members have actually invested in?
So the way how the investments work, all right, no one's actually, well, our community members, they're not directly investing into your project. They simply get taxed at a 3% transaction tax, and those funds are used to invest into the projects that are proposing, right? And when it comes to working with projects, we do tend to prioritize the ones that have collateral, that have a personal stake in the company. You don't necessarily have to have liquid cash. You just need to come to us with something developed. We want to see an MVP. We want to see a good website, a very thought through white paper. Because if you're coming on, all you've got is just an idea with no material to back the idea, it's going to be quite hard for you to even land a pitch on the well tank. Because before all of that happens, you need to create a proposal on our DApp. Once you create the proposal, our team will be reviewing it. If we think it's worth you guys even coming on the well tank, then we'll take you on. But it's really about creating a good proposal initially, because without having a good proposal, then no one's going to vote on it. So it needs to make sense.
Yes, I get it now. I get it now. It's a wonderful project. Thank you very much for answering my question. I'm wishing the DAOWhale project the very best, and I hope it stays good forward. Over to you, Glenn.
Okay, thank you for the question, rest in peace. Unfortunately, we've run out of time tonight, but it's great speaking to Toshi from DAOWhale. It's a really good concept for the Shark Tank. I can see it being huge in the future. The pre-sale starts tomorrow. So if you, we always say at Whalecoin Talk, you should do your research first. Check the website, white paper, the official socials are in our main chat. As we say, Whalecoin Talks for research and educational purposes. I'm talking on Twitter Spaces. But it's been great speaking to the guys today from DAOWhale, and I'm looking forward to the future for the projects and the pre-sale. Thank you very much for coming, guys.
Awesome. Thank you, brother. I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
And thank you for everyone else tuning in. It's been an absolute pleasure. I hope to see you guys over in the DAOWhale community.
Definitely.
Yeah,
And I do apologise. I've been battling connection issues and requesting issues, so I haven't said too much today, but Shrimp covered what was needed. But yeah, go and get yourself an opportunity, try and earn yourself a WOW key. Details can be found on our Telegram. If you have additional questions that haven't been answered today or covered, feel free to hop over to the main Telegram or DM us on Twitter. We'd be more than happy to help answer and of course attend your needs. But yeah, appreciate everyone's time today. And stay tuned for pre-sale tomorrow.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much, and take care. Yeah, if anyone wants to hit the logo of DAOWhale there, I'll send you over to their Twitter, and you'll find the Telegram and the socials there. If you've got any questions after the Twitter Spaces today, yeah, you can go over there and ask questions.
Lovely, thank you.
All right, thanks for calling. See ya.